15 reasons you could be denied. Boarding at airports in 2025. You booked your ticket, packed your bags, and arrived at the airport with time to spare. Everything's going smoothly until, surprise, you're stopped at the gate and told you cannot board the plane. Nightmare scenario, right? Unfortunately, it happens more often than you'd think. In 2023, around 25,000 passengers were denied boarding on US flights, roughly 29 per million travelers. And it's not just in the US. Worldwide, travelers face this upsetting ordeal for all sorts of reasons. Some are serious security issues, others are surprisingly simple mistakes. Today, we're counting down 15 reasons you could be denied boarding in 2025. We'll mix in a bit of drama, a bit of humor, but most importantly, crucial info to save you from getting stranded at the gate. Let's dive in. Reason 1. Expired passport. Too little validity. Imagine planning your dream vacation, only to find out your passport is expired or not valid long enough at check-in. In 2025, many countries require passports to be valid for at least 6 months beyond your trip. Airlines often follow this rule, even if the destination country has a shorter validity requirement. If your passport isn't valid enough, you'll be denied boarding, losing money on non-refundable flights or hotels. To avoid this, check your passport's expiration well in advance and renew it early if necessary. A quick check can save you from the heartbreak of a ruined trip. Reason 2. Damaged passport or ID. A damaged passport can cause significant travel issues, just like an expired one. Whether it's torn, water damaged, or marked, visible damage can raise security concerns and result in denied boarding or entry. Airlines and immigration officers must easily scan and verify your identity, and any damage could lead to delays or being turned away. In extreme cases, you may need to cancel your trip and apply for emergency documents, which can be costly and time-consuming. To prevent this, protect your passport by keeping it dry, using a cover, and renewing it if it's seriously damaged before traveling. Reason 3. Missing real ID. US domestic flights. Starting May 7th, 2025, US travelers will need a real ID for domestic flights. A regular driver's license without the star or flag emblem won't be accepted by TSA for boarding. The real ID is an upgraded, federally approved ID with added security features. Without it, you won't get past the security checkpoint, and your trip could be delayed. To avoid this, check if your license is real ID compliant. Look for a star, or carry a passport for domestic flights. While there's a grace period until 2027, it's best to get the new ID to avoid any issues. Reason 4. Missing or invalid visa. Imagine arriving at check-in only to be asked for a visa you didn't know you needed. Many countries require visas or travel authorizations, and without them, you can't enter. Airlines won't let you board without the necessary visa because they could face fines and have to fly you back. For example, if you try to fly to China or the US without a valid visa or authorization, you'll be denied boarding. The consequence? No visa means no flight, and you'll need to quickly reschedule and apply for the correct visa, which can be time-consuming and costly. To avoid this, research visa requirements early and double-check all details before booking. Reason 5. Travel bans or no-fly list. In the most serious cases, passengers are denied boarding not because of mistakes or forgotten documents, but due to their identity or government restrictions. If you're on a no-fly or watch list, often linked to security threats or terrorism concerns, you'll be prevented from flying. These lists are confidential, so you may not know you're flagged until you're pulled aside for extended questioning. Similarly, if travel bans are in place, whether due to political, health, or other restrictions, you'll be barred from boarding. We've seen such bans during the pandemic or in response to diplomatic issues. The consequences go beyond just missing a flight. You could face detainment and questioning by authorities, and you may not be allowed to fly until the situation is resolved. To avoid this, follow laws and stay informed on travel restrictions. If your name is common, consider enrolling in traveler programs to prevent misidentification. Most importantly, don't attempt to travel if you're under a ban. Reason 6. Name mismatch on ticket and ID. A common reason for being denied boarding is a mismatch between the name on your ticket and your passport or ID. Even small differences, like Bob Smith versus Robert J. Smith Jr., can cause problems. Airlines and security are strict about this for identification purposes, and they won't investigate or correct the issue. This could result in rebooking or buying a new, often more expensive ticket. To avoid this, always book flights using your name exactly as it appears on your passport. Double check for accuracy, and if you spot a mistake, contact the airline as soon as possible for a correction. Reason 7. Missing health documents or vaccinations. Health requirements requirements can sometimes prevent travelers from boarding flights, even in 2025. Some countries still require proof of specific vaccinations, like yellow fever, for travelers coming from regions where the disease is a risk, such as parts of Africa or South America. Without the necessary vaccination record, airlines can deny boarding because the destination country may refuse entry or impose quarantine. During the COVID-19 pandemic, airlines enforced strict policies requiring negative tests or vaccination proof. While many of these rules have relaxed, they could return if new variants emerge, and some countries still have health requirements in place for travelers in 2025. Additionally, if you arrive at the gate visibly ill, such as running a fever or coughing, the airline may refuse boarding for your own health and the safety of other passengers. Airlines have the discretion to deny boarding if a passenger appears too sick to fly. If you lack the required health documentation or are too ill to travel, you could be asked to reschedule your flight or provide medical clearance. This could lead to missed vacations, lost money, and frustration. To avoid this, research health requirements for your destination well in advance, including any necessary vaccinations or testing. Carry the official documentation and stay updated on travel advisories. If you're unwell, consider postponing your trip for both your safety and others. In short, staying healthy and prepared is key to ensuring smooth travel. Reason 8. Overbooked flight. Involuntary bumping. Sometimes, passengers get bumped from flights through no fault of their own, and the reason is often overbooking. Airlines occasionally sell more tickets than there are seats, assuming that not all passengers will show up. While this practice is legal in most areas, it can lead to a situation where more people arrive than the plane can accommodate. As a result, some passengers are denied boarding, even if they've done everything right. This is known as being bumped. Airlines may ask for volunteers to take a later flight in exchange for compensation, but if there aren't enough volunteers, passengers will be involuntarily bumped. The main consequence of being bumped is the delay, as you'll be rebooked on a later flight, which could be hours or even the next day. Although compensation is often offered, such as cash or travel vouchers in the US, it doesn't make up for missed time-sensitive events, like important meetings or family gatherings. Additionally, being stuck in the airport for hours is frustrating. To reduce the chances of being bumped, check in as early as possible, typically 24 hours before the flight, and arrive at the gate on time, as late passengers are often the first to be bumped. Joining an airline's frequent flyer program can help, as loyal members are given priority. Also, avoid peak travel times or opt for a higher fare class, as these passengers are less likely to be bumped. If you're flexible, volunteering to take a later flight can score you compensation without the hassle. However, if punctuality is critical, secure your seat early and be at the gate on time. Reason 9. Arriving late, missing check-in or boarding. Denial of boarding often stems from timing rather than issues with policies or documents. Airlines have strict cutoff times for check-in and gate arrival. Miss these, and your seat may be given away. A flight won't wait for you if you're late, and even arriving minutes late can result in being denied boarding. For example, many airlines require passengers to be at the gate 15 minutes before departure. Missing this window, or failing to check in within the designated time, usually 30 to 60 minutes for domestic, longer for international, could cancel your reservation. If you're offloaded, you'll need to rebook and may incur additional costs, especially with non-refundable tickets. If it's the last flight of the day, you may end up stranded overnight. Missing a flight doesn't just ruin vacations, but can cause missed meetings or events. And in most cases, you are responsible. To avoid this, plan ahead and arrive early. Ideally, 2 hours for domestic flights and 3 hours for international. After clearing security, head directly to your gate and stay close during boarding, typically 30 to 45 minutes before departure. If running late, call the airline for potential help, though there's no guarantee. Always respect check-in deadlines to avoid the hassle of missing your flight. Reason 10. Intoxication, too much booze or drugs. Grabbing a drink at the airport bar before your flight is common and generally fine, but overdoing it can lead to denied boarding. Airlines are required to prevent visibly intoxicated passengers from flying for safety reasons. Someone who's stumbling, slurring, or behaving oddly could pose a risk by not following instructions, getting sick mid-flight, or disturbing others. Gate agents are trained to spot signs of intoxication, and it doesn't take much to raise concern. You don't need to be falling down drunk, just loud, erratic, or overly energetic after a few drinks could be enough. For example, if you're celebrating a trip with friends and show up to the gate singing loudly or reeking of alcohol, you might be quietly pulled aside and told you're unfit to fly. The consequence? You'll be denied boarding immediately, possibly escorted out of the secure area, and may even face police involvement if your behavior escalates. Best case scenario, you'll have to wait, sober up, and rebook, potentially with added fees. Worst case, missed flights, legal trouble, and embarrassment. How to avoid it? Know your limits. If you drink before flying, eat something, and stay hydrated. Alcohol affects you more at altitude, and early morning flights aren't ideal for heavy drinking. Also, be cautious if you're on medication or traveling in a group. Watch out for each other. A calm flight is better than no flight at all. Enjoy responsibly so you don't end up grounded before takeoff. Reason 11. Unruly or disruptive behavior. Flying can be frustrating, but taking it out on airline staff or other passengers is a quick way to lose your seat. In recent years, unruly passenger behavior has surged. In 2023, there was one reported incident for every 480 flights worldwide. The most common triggers? Ignoring crew instructions and verbal or physical abuse. Unacceptable behavior includes yelling at gate agents, using foul language, starting arguments, refusing to follow boarding procedures, or cutting in line. Airlines take this seriously, even before you board. For example, if you skip ahead in line and argue with staff, you can be denied entry. Some airlines, like American Airlines, even use tech to catch line jumpers. Get loud or aggressive at the gate, and security may intervene. If you're labeled disruptive, you won't fly. You might be escorted out, lose your ticket without a refund, or face legal consequences for threats or assaults. If your behavior continues on board, expect removal, possibly to applause from fellow passengers, and a potential ban from future flights. Want to avoid this? Stay calm. Be respectful to staff and fellow travelers. If there's a problem, let the crew handle it. Acting out won't fix delays or lost bags. It only makes things worse. Remember, cameras are everywhere, and a public meltdown could land you in an embarrassing viral video. The best way to reach your destination? Stay patient, follow the rules, and treat others with courtesy. Reason 12. Dress code violations. What you wear on a flight can actually affect whether you're allowed to board. While airlines don't require a uniform, they do have policies on appropriate attire. Clothing considered lewd, obscene, overly revealing, or offensive can get you denied boarding. For example, Spirit Airlines recently updated its policy to prohibit passengers who are barefoot, inadequately clothed, or wearing offensive garments. Other airlines have similar rules. Real incidents include passengers being removed for t-shirts with offensive slogans or revealing outfits like swimwear. Even strong body odor can be a reason to deny boarding, as it affects the comfort of others. Though not a strict dress code, airlines aim to maintain a respectful and comfortable environment. If your attire is flagged, a gate agent may quietly ask you to change or cover up. Refusal can mean missing your flight or even a temporary airline ban. To avoid issues, dress with basic respect in mind. Avoid overly provocative or controversial clothing. Always wear shoes. And if you're coming from the beach or pool, wear a cover-up. If staff ask you to adjust your outfit, it's usually best to comply. Don't let a fashion choice become the reason you're stuck at the gate. Reason 13. Prohibited items in luggage. Packing for a trip? Make sure what goes in your bag won't keep you off the plane. Every day, travelers are delayed or denied boarding because of items found in their luggage that are not allowed. These include sharp objects like knives or scissors, flammable materials, fireworks, tools, and improperly packed lithium batteries. Even common items like aerosol cans or liquids over 100 milliliters in carry-on bags can be a problem. Security checks are strict for a reason: your safety. If a prohibited item is found during screening, it can cause delays, missed flights, fines, or even led to being removed from your flight altogether. To avoid this, always review your airline's baggage policy before you pack. Know the difference between what's allowed in checked baggage versus carry-on. When in doubt, leave it out or check with the airline ahead of time. A few extra minutes of preparation can save you a lot of stress at the airport. Keep your travel smooth, your bags compliant, and your trip on track. Double-check your luggage, travel smart, fly safe. Reason 14. Joking about bombs or threats. A quick way to ruin your trip? Joking about bombs, guns, or violence at the airport. While it may seem like harmless humor, security and airline staff take these comments seriously because they have to. Even saying the word bomb in jest can trigger a full security response. Every year, travelers make offhand remarks like, "Hope TSA didn't miss the dynamite in my shoes," and end up detained or arrested. In one 2024 case, a JetBlue passenger who joked about a bomb spent his birthday in jail instead of in the air. Airlines call this making threatening statements, and it's a serious offense. Whether it's a sarcastic comment, a frustrated outburst, or something said to amuse a friend, such remarks can lead to denied boarding, questioning by authorities, and possible criminal charges. You may even be banned from future travel and held financially responsible for any disruptions. The solution is simple. Never joke about weapons, explosives, or violence in an airport or on a plane. Teach kids the same rule. Stick to safe topics if you want to be funny. In these environments, staff assume threats are real, not jokes, and they act fast. Don't let one comment ground your entire trip. Reason 15. Refusing security or safety procedures. Refusing to follow airport or airline rules can quickly get you removed from a flight or denied boarding altogether. This includes a wide range of situations, from refusing TSA screening at the checkpoint to ignoring safety instructions once on board. If you decline to go through a scanner and won't accept a pat-down, TSA won't let you proceed, which means no flight. Similarly, if you refuse to turn off your phone, stow your bag, or follow carry-on procedures, you risk being labeled non-compliant, a red flag for both safety and security. Even at the gate or on the plane, rules are non-negotiable. Refusing to wear a seatbelt or arguing about seat assignments, especially in emergency exit rows, can result in your removal. During the pandemic, passengers were frequently denied boarding for not wearing masks. Though masks may no longer be required in 2025, similar health or safety mandates could still apply. Consequences range from being left behind to facing fines or legal trouble, especially if your refusal violates security regulations. You could even end up on an airline's internal problem passenger list, making future travel more difficult. The best approach? Stay cooperative. Most rules exist for safety, not to inconvenience you. If you have legitimate concerns, like medical conditions, explain them calmly, and alternatives are usually offered. But the airport or plane is not the place for protests. Being respectful and compliant ensures you'll reach your destination without drama. Buckle up, follow instructions, and save complaints for after the flight if necessary. In 2025, there are many reasons you could be denied boarding. From simple mistakes like an expired passport to serious security concerns. The key is preparation and common sense. Check your documents, follow the rules, and avoid issues like arriving late or inappropriate behavior. Ensure your passport, visas, and IDs are up to date. Arrive on time and be mindful of your actions. No jokes or excessive alcohol. With a little awareness, you can reduce the chances of facing these problems and enjoy your trip. Stay informed, and happy travels. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your travel experiences in the comments.